Good evening, everyone. Welcome to closing comments here for May 27th. Let's jump right into our charts and see what happened in the market today. First up, we got our live cattle on the board. We did see a nice push higher here in the live cattle market today. Prices rallying off that opening range early, seeing a nice strong push through our bull pivot there, putting a high of the day in at 243.87. Nice strong push early, but we did see a little bit of resistance late. Sellers left over from these prior week's value area highs, seeing a little bit of pushback there. But this market still did finish in positive territory above these prior day highs and that 50-day moving average here. So that is a good sign for the bulls going forward here throughout the remainder of the week. We still do have some resistance overhead. It's not going to be an easy climb out of here, but the bulls still have the momentum favoring them as we head into tomorrow's session. We're going to make sure that they can keep this market supported above these prior day highs and see a nice strong push up here through the mid 240s. From there, we should see these bulls try and get some traction going back up there towards 250 and those all-time highs. It's not going to be an easy climb out of here, but the bulls have some momentum favoring them here at the moment. As long as they can keep this market supported here and keep this market from falling down here below 237, they are in good hands, and we should see this thing continue to rally up there back towards those highs. Look for the upside to continue tomorrow. It's going to be a battleground, so don't expect it to be super easy quite yet. We still could see a little bit of volatility here in the near term, so be cautious, be defensive here if we do see some sell-offs back down towards 237. But in the meantime, the bulls have a chance here to keep this rally underway. We need to see them keep that momentum rolling here throughout the rest of the week. Next up, August feeders on the board. This market's seeing a little bit of upside here as well today. Nice strong push off that opening range as we did open back above 350. Nice strong rally up there to our pivot point here for the week at 355.5. This market wasn't able to get that overhead gap closed from this prior week's limit down day into Friday's action. Just falling short of getting that gap closed. We did see some nice volume building up here late. We do want to see these bulls get some good traction back above here, close that gap, and we should see this market try and push up here towards 365. Like that live cattle market, it's not going to be a super easy climb out of here. We still have a lot of overhead resistance this thing is going to have to chew through, so it's not going to be an easy climb, but we still have the bulls trying to keep this market supported. We're not letting this thing get too slippery down here. The bulls are starting to push back, so that's good signs of life. We want to make sure that it gets some good traction back above 355.5 here tomorrow. Close that gap, and we should see a rally back up there into the 360s. Next up, July corn futures on the board next. We did see more downside here in this corn market today as we did continue pushing down there towards 450. This market has continued to be range bound here in recent months, and we expect to see that action continue until we can get a close back below 450 here. We expect to see just more choppy action. Should anticipate these bulls step in and offer support here around $4.50 to try and push this market back up here in the middle of this range. Look for 450 to be a key battleground here throughout the remainder of this week. Any sort of breakdowns below 450 could open the door to some downside. However, this corn market doesn't really look like it's in a hurry to go anywhere. We should see this market remain sticky here between 450 and 485. Next up, crude oil futures on the board. We did see this market losing a little bit of ground here today once again, briefly undercutting $90 here before seeing a little bit of upside in the evening session tonight. This market has been range bound here in recent months ever since this breakout back here in the early part of March. We have seen this thing be contained to this $30, $40 range here. This market is starting to slip down here into the bottom end of this range, so we should have to wait and see if these bulls are going to see any sort of pushback. However, this market does start to see we are seeing some lower highs here, and we are looking like this thing is starting to roll over and run out of gas. So wouldn't be surprised to see these bears just try and bleed this market back down here through the 80s. But so far, we have seen some pretty good bounces off of this $82 to $90 level. I just want to keep that in mind here. As any downside, we could see this market continue to bleed, but it's going to be tough chewing through all this leftover demand here. We wouldn't be surprised to see more choppy action here in this crude oil market while it continues to digest all this recent volatility. And next up, equity markets on deck. We did see this S&P index rallying back into a new all-time high early today, but most of that upside was contained to that pre-market session. Downside throughout the remainder of the day, we did see a little bit of rally into the close, but this market has just been sticky here all week long between about 75.20 and 75.70. We expect to see this choppy action continue here in the near term. This uptrend still remains intact. Not really expecting any sort of breakdowns from here. This market is kind of getting sticky here in this area, while the Nasdaq and the Dow have kind of been going opposite directions the last couple days. That keeps the S&P kind of stuck here in the middle, while these guys are kind of trying to figure it out. We did see more upside and new all-time highs in this the Nasdaq as well. The Dow did see a little bit of pushback inside of yesterday's range, but just seeing this thing kind of just get sticky here at the moment. The uptrend still remains intact. Still is a very good environment here to be invested. Keep that capital working. We should see more upside here throughout the remainder of this week. The S&P and NASDAQ, all these guys looking good. Uptrend's really still intact here, and we should see this thing just keep on drifting up into those all-time highs. That's all we got for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in here. Catch you guys tomorrow.